All right, here I am at the Wood Street Railroad crossing in West Chicago, Illinois. Now, this railroad crossing right here is another rather neat crossing owned by the Union Pacific Geneva Subdivision. Now, this crossing actually features some other rare equipment, not rare, but, you know, cool equipment. And down there is Washington Street, which is a crossing that I just toured on the Union Pacific Geneva Subdivision, as well as on the CN Lethan Subdivision, right by the manned JB Tower. And I say manned because it's one out of the few railroad towers left that are manned. And this crossing right here, as I said, features some pretty neat elements that I decided to tour on the Union Pacific Geneva as well. And yeah, and down there is the Metra station, since this line is also shared by Metra and is also a quiet zone. So yeah, I guess with all that said, I'll explain everything as I go on. We do have a couple trains on the way, so hopefully I won't get interrupted again, and you'll see what I mean in a bit. So I guess that said, let's get on to it. So for the first signal, this has a SATRAN base, and here's the emergency information and the dot number, and the dot number is 174972A. Yep, there's that. And for the gate mechanism, this has a Siemens gate mechanism with the imprinted logo. And the gate lights are Ricoh LED gate lights, and there's a wind guard on the mast as well. And for the lights on this one, this has two pairs of Western Cullen Hayes 12 by 24 inch first generation LEDs, all sitting on a SATRAN light bracket, or these might actually have the General Signals LEDs in them. And for a bell on this one, this has a Western Cullen Hayes Type 1.5 electronic bell. Pretty neat to see one of these still around, though this bell is kind of quiet and it's also kind of scratchy, so it is on its way out, but still here, still ringing. So yeah, that right there is the first signal. Now let's go ahead and move on to the pedestrian gate, which is right next to that signal. So yeah, this right here is the pedestrian gate protecting the sidewalk. There's one on the other side too. So what this has, this is sitting on a Western Cullen Hayes mast with the base. And the gate mechanism is a Western Cullen Hayes gate mechanism, newer generation. And there are no gate lights on this gate. And no counterweights either. So yeah, that right there was the first side of the crossing. Now let's go ahead and move on to the other half. So pretty much the other half has this other signal and this other gate mechanism protecting the sidewalk. And there's a demolition crew over there taking down that building. Rest in pieces. But yeah, so here's the second signal, or not the second, pedestrian gate. This is the this is sitting on a SATRAN base with the SATRAN mast. This is a pedestrian gate. And the gate mechanism is another Siemens gate mechanism with the imprinted logo. Once again, no gate lights on this gate. So yeah, that right there were the two pedestrian gates, only protecting this side of the sidewalk only, though there is not really a, well, there is a sidewalk on that side, but like, it doesn't, you know, continue on per se. So yeah, now let's go ahead and move on to the final signal of this crossing after this car. So yeah, here is the second signal with equipment, or the final signal, which has actual equipment. So for this one, this has a SATRAN base sitting on a metal foundation. And here's the emergency information once again. And for the gate mechanism, this has a SATRAN gate mechanism 1990s generation with a Union Pacific lock on it. And the gate lights are Ricoh LED gate lights and a wind guard on the mast, as you can see. And for the lights on this one, this has two pairs of Western Cullen Hayes 12 by 24 inch light heads with, I believe, General Signals LEDs in them. All sitting on a SATRAN light bracket. These are all either General Signals or, what was I going to say, Electrotech. And the bell on this one, which is pretty neat, this has a General Signals Type 1 electronic bell set on default pitch. So, yeah. Alright, continuing the rest of this tour. Yes, I got interrupted by not one, but two trains. Yep, there's my luck for you, as well as a phone call, so that sums it up for you. But I guess with that said, that is all for the... Dang it, I cannot talk today. That is all of the equipment to show for Wood Street. Here is the relay case sitting at milepost 30.24. And if you look next to it, there's a relay case for Washington Street sitting at 30.28. So with that said, let's go to take a look at the track view. So down there, it's heading west towards the big control point as well as the yard. And you can see a train down there, and as well as the Metra that went by it. So I think that manifests that I got interrupted while I was doing Washington Street, you know, stopped right there. So that's heading west, eventually towards Rochelle and DeKalb. And down there it's heading east, right towards the West Chicago Metro station. Now, if this train was still there, you could see the Metro train that I just caught sitting right there at another signal tower. So yeah. I guess with all that said, this was the Wood Street Railroad crossing here in West Chicago, Illinois. Definitely some neat stuff. I got this crossing in action a handful of times, and hopefully I'll do like a full-fledged angle on it, since, you know, it's kind of hard to capture all of these gate mechanisms in one frame. But yeah, with all that said, over and out.